the butter, we've got just straight cream. And this cream is not very thick. It is fresh, it's not cultured, and that's perfectly fine to use. So I've got my food processor and the blade attachment, and I just pour this in, put the lid on, and let it rip. Okay, while the butter is churning, I'm just gonna show you another method for making butter is to add a little bit of culture. This is from Homesteader Supply, and they have Lyopro MO. This is a mesophilic culture for butter. All you do is you add a little pinch to a jar of cream, and it sits on the counter overnight, 24 hours. That much, tiny bit. So added to cream makes it thick and gelatinous, which makes it really quick to turn into butter the next day. It's also delicious sour cream with just a little bit of that mesophilic starter and sitting it on the counter for 24 hours. It's delicious sour cream. So in the meantime, we're still letting our butter churn. It's getting thick. It's expanded in volume as we've added air to it. And it's going to go through a whipped cream phase and then a butter phase. So I'm just mixing in that start, and then I'll put a lid on it and leave it on the counter for 24 hours. It's turning into whipped cream now. Okay, let's look again. You see the yellow chunks? I think we're going to add a little bit of water. To help just kind of break up the buttermilk and the butter. Now you can see that butter in there. So this step is really important. And then nobody on YouTube that I've seen does this. So that's why I'm making my own video, because I think it's important. You're gonna strain the buttermilk out, and the buttermilk is what creates the rancid off flavors. So we want to get as much of it out as we can. So I'm going to strain it, and a lot of people just wash their butter in the sink at this point with their hands and just squeeze the buttermilk out. And that's how I did it for a couple of years, until our friend Cherie taught us that if you just put it back in the food processor with salt water, it is so much better and it lasts so much longer. So I'm going to squeeze out as much buttermilk as I can here. Look at that beautiful yellow Jersey butter. Jersey cows are known for their color, and it's what the margarine companies are trying to replicate when they add false food dyes into their white slime that they try to sell as this beautiful thing called butter. So, as I squeeze out the buttermilk, it becomes a lot less sticky. It'll hold itself a lot more. And even, there's a lot in there. That's why using your hands is not the best way. So I'm gonna put it back in there. Okay, so I've got my butter back in, and then I've got just about 2 cups of cold water. You don't wanna put hot water in or it will melt the butter. Cold water, and for that much butter, I'm gonna put in a teaspoon of salt, and that is because a lot of that salt is gonna end up in the water. So you oversalt this method because you're not just kneading it into the butter. I haven't washed my thing out, that's not necessary. I'm just gonna pulse it a few times. This is really cleaning the buttermilk out of the butter. And it's salting it at the same time so that it's like very uniformly salted. It's a great technique. At this point, I'm not going to keep this salty milk or salty water. So I just pour it right down the drain. For now, I'll just put it in here. Okay, so I'm not gonna, I'm not going to keep this salty water, but I am going to squeeze as much as I can. And look at that beautiful brick of butter. I would say that's over a cup of butter. So maybe 3 sticks, 2.5 sticks of butter. And we can easily use a measuring cup. I just like to kind of make a ball out of it, put it in a Ziploc, put it in the freezer. I got it. Every time I make butter, I think I should probably make apple crisp. It's so yummy. This is great, and it'll last on the countertop for 3 or 4 days, and it'll last in the freezer for a long time, and it will last in the fridge for several weeks. So butter is very easy. Cultured butter takes even less time. I think we probably churned that for over 5 minutes from fresh cream. Cultured butter takes less than a minute to churn, and it has some added probiotic benefits.